Do you think he would be well placed to lead a coalition government?
I don't think anybody would find it easy to lead a coalition government. It's hard to get that kind of compromise. I think you have to say David Cameron's done a pretty good job so far of holding his coalition together. Whether Nick Clegg's done a good job making the compromises he had is another question. But I've always been clear, I don't think coalitions as a matter of principle are better. There are some people who do, but I think it leads to backroom deals and compromises on manifestos and can lead to real difficulty. But sometimes it's what the political system throws up in a hung parliament. In those circumstances, of course, it's important to reach an agreement, and that's right and proper. I think there's two types of politician, though, when it comes to coalition. Do you want a leader who's friendly and nice, but maybe havers here and there, isn't clear and can't deliver? Or do you want somebody who's straight and strong and says what they think? I actually think that's a better way forward. The Liberal Democrats would know with me. There were certain things the Labour Party couldn't accept, places where we could compromise, but when we said things, would keep our promises, would be straight and honest and open. And fundamentally, people would know if I was leader, this would not be a deceit. It would be a fair, honest, progressive, left-of-centre coalition. I think that's the best way to do your politics.
Yes, I would. I mean, I've shown in my political career that I am able to work across traditional party divides in politics. Before the last election, people may recall that I agreed to take part in talks on the future of social care in England, because some issues are so important and so fundamental to the future of this country that they deserve a considered and measured approach. Working across traditional divides is a matter of record that I was subsequently betrayed in those talks, and they broke down on the back of the posters that were put up by the Conservatives. But nevertheless, I did do that, and I will continue to adopt that approach where there is common ground and to seek common ground. I think it would be very hard to work with the current leadership of the Liberal Democrat Party. In my view, they have betrayed the 7 million people who voted for them. I do not believe those people voted for the breakup of the NHS, a free-for-all in state schools, nor spending cuts so dramatic and so severe that they will hollow out our public services and change their character forever. So it would be hard to work with a Tory-leaning leadership in the Lib Dem Party, who, in my view, right now are nodding through some very right-wing policies indeed. But I wouldn't rule out that we could work with the party in the future under different leadership. What I am working for right now is to rebuild the Labour Party from the grassroots upwards, truly as a people's party that is a party in touch with ordinary people. And then from there, I want to reconnect that Labour Party with the people of Britain, the people who voted for us back in 1997, because I believe history has shown in our country that big strides forward have come from majority Labour governments, the National Health Service, the Open University, the things that have really improved opportunity in our country. The big social strides forward have often been achieved by majority Labour governments, and I would always fight as Labour leader to be the leader of a majority Labour government.
I'll be seeking as Labour leader to get an outright Labour majority at the next election. That's what any Labour leader would do. And I'm not talking at the moment about coalitions. One thing I will say is that I think the Liberal Democrats have forfeited the trust that millions of people placed in them at the last general election. They said they were going to deliver a fairer, a more equal, and more just society, and they are delivering under this coalition government absolutely the opposite. And I think there will be millions of people who feel completely betrayed by them. I will be seeking to win them, as well as others, to Labour's cause.
I'm seeking to lead a majority Labour government. Obviously, any politician has to have the flexibility to act in the national interest when it so requires. But the history of coalitions is that they don't end well for the Liberal Democrats. Admittedly, in the pre-Second World War period, 3 times Conservative Liberal coalitions ended with stronger Conservative parties. We've got to make sure that isn't the case this time, and that it's the progressive majority that comes out stronger.
Yes, I'm a politician with a very broad appeal. I do a programme on the BBC on a Thursday night. It has the highest audience appreciation ratings of any political show. And when you ask my viewers what is their next most favourite programme, they say Midsummer Murders. I think that demonstrates I'm a politician with a very wide appeal, and I could certainly lead a coalition government.